Hello, I'm Alexander Feliciano, and this is our group presentation on the effects of urban design on climate and physical activity. The main argument of this presentation is that the built environment of cities can alter the local climate, and this discourages or encourages physical activities taken by its residents.
Urban Heat Island Index. Urban heat islands are in metropolitan areas that are hotter than their outlying regions. Temperatures typically roll around 15 degrees to 20 degrees hotter in Fahrenheit than nearby areas with more trees and less pavement. Potential solutions. Install green roofs removes heat from the air through evaporations. Install cool roofs, reducing roof temperatures. Planting trees and other vegetations lower surface and air temperature. Cool pavement is a heat-reflective white surface, but pedestrians say they feel hotter. Paved roads, parking lots, and buildings absorb and retain heat during the day and radiate the heat back into the surrounding air. Extreme urban heat is a public health threat. Heat islands are influenced by albedo, light radiation reflected by a surface.
Walking indoors versus walking outdoors. Walking outdoors, some benefits of it would be more calories burned because of sun exposure. Another benefit would be more challenges due to walking trails rather than just walking on a treadmill. Another one would be increased mental health. Because of the sun exposure, you produce more dopamine and serotonin, which counteracts depression and anxiety. And additionally, a study that was jointly led by the academics from the Anglican Ruskin University, the Karl Lannister University of Health and Science in Austria, and the Bredonia University in Malaysia found that exercising outdoors is better than you. Separating yourself from the TV and from the computer screens helps to improve your eyesight. They took a sample of 286 adults and 3 times a day over a 20-day period allowed people to either exercise indoor or outdoors. And over this time, they based their happiness and on their physical well-being and found that individuals that exercised outdoor were healthier than those who exercised indoor. Exercising versus sedentary lifestyle. So regular exercise can lead to a constant build of a muscle that doesn't break down over the years. If you look at this image, it's a CAT scan of a 40-year-old triathlete and then the same triathlete at 70 years old. As you can see, the 40-year-old and when he's at 70, the muscle mass is still the same. When you look at the 70-year-old sedentary man, all of that white is fat. And that red in the middle or the black is muscle, which is not that much compared to how much the 70-year-old and the 40-year-old looks like. So this being exercising, going out and walking leads to better cardiovascular health. That fat buildup isn't just around your legs. That fat buildup also builds up around your heart and other organs, which can cause having a heart attack or worse. So getting out and walking is something that's very essential and very needed. So a walkable environment is something that would benefit everyone positively.
Climate and pedestrians. People love getting outside, whether it's with pets, family, or just by themselves. Because of that, neighborhoods are specifically designed to have a higher vegetation amount and more shade. They also include different areas to be outside in, like parks, dog parks, pools, tennis courts, basketball courts, and other things. While all of these factors help keep communities very happy, climate change is starting to play a big role in people going outside. With the global temperatures rising, less people are going outside because of the extreme heat. Risks of heat-related injury like heat stroke increase drastically in extreme heat. The heat from the pavement and sidewalk also makes it harder for people to be outside, especially with pets. In neighborhoods that provide less shade, their communities are usually not as happy. This is because people aren't getting outside as much and getting what is called cabin fever.
How buildings affect the climate in the city. Heat absorption. The materials used in urban construction have a higher heat-absorbing capacity than natural surfaces. During the day, these materials absorb solar radiation, causing them to heat up and radiate heat into the surrounding environment. Altered wind patterns. The tall buildings and dense urban structures can alter local wind patterns, restricting natural ventilation and making it harder for cool breezes to reach street level. Energy use. The high concentration of buildings and infrastructure in cities leads to increased energy use, including air conditioning and industrial processes, which emit waste heat, further contributing to the urban heat island effect. Air pollution. Urban areas tend to have higher levels of air pollution due to traffic, industry, and other human activities. Pollution particles can absorb and retain heat. Exhibit design and layout. The design and layout of buildings and streets can influence the amount of shade, airflow, and exposure to sunlight that radiates experience. How buildings affect the climate in the city. Heat absorption.
Going outside has so many different benefits, like decreasing stress, helping you sleep, preventing cardiovascular disease, decreasing cholesterol levels, and increasing focus. Without the necessary vitamin D from the sun, people start to get sadder and way more easily agitated.
Design factors of UHI. Cities that are usually structured around climate efficiency create safe spaces for people. These communities are often more advantageous, which leads to a healthier life by building more sidewalks, adding more public transportation options, parks, and generally more shade in high heat areas. The importance of these design factors. Communities structured around flexibility and climate conservation have many benefits that include reduce health risks such as cancer and weight gain, reduce stress, decrease chances of developing depression, reduces pollution, high temperatures, and noise, builds larger, solidified communities. The negative impacts. Cities that are usually structured outside of these designs of UHI often negatively impact the ones that reside within these communities with harrowing effects, which include inducing stress and heat-related illnesses, high energy usage and pricing, more at risk for obesity and diabetes, less involved people within these communities as well.
Greenery in urban parks. Green spaces in urban cities. Urban green areas are natural-based resolutions in urban planning that handles the challenges of alleviating the influence of climate change and intense summer heat. It decreases the chance of heat-related sicknesses and improves health. Some health benefits include helping battle obesity and diabetes, boosting endorphins to combat mental struggles, and it encourages more time outside, which leads to exposure to vitamin D. Houston, Dallas, Austin, and San Antonio are all cities with numerous green spaces due to their known high population density. The picture on the right is a good example of what a green area should look like.
In summary, the urban heat island effect is a significant problem in many cities, causing heat-related illnesses and reducing physical activity. As temperatures rise due to climate change, the UHI effect will only become even more pronounced. There are some factors within our control, though. The geometry of city buildings and street layouts alter the UHI effect by affecting how much heat is trapped or how much wind flow there is. However, the addition of plants and trees is a far more cost-effective and accessible method for mitigating heat. Urban parks in particular are the strongest form of cooling via greenery, capable of reducing local temperatures by several degrees. Urban developers should consider including more trees and pedestrian pathways and breaking up the cityscape with urban parks and green spaces in order to improve walkability.